What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Taking a look back at one of my favorite decks of all time, and that's ABC Cyber Dragon. And I found out someone recently in my comment section told me that ABC Dragon Buster was now at 2, and that makes a huge difference. So we'll take a look at how it all kind of plays out here. My opponent is playing Evil Twins, and it is fun to play this deck again, but it does feel like it's kind of been power crept since its prime, you know. But this duel is a pretty good showcase of what it can do. Now it's kind of unfortunate I have machine duplication here. Now you'd think like, why is it unfortunate? But I usually play Cyber Dragon at 2, and meaning I'm only going to be able to summon 1 for machine duplication, but the saving grace is that at least it says up to 2. You don't have to summon 2, so it's just going to be 1 less body. It is what it is. So Cyber Dragon's still a good guard going first, or going second, I should say. Well, especially against this deck. So is forced to, just one little Cyber Dragon body is forced to him to basically go into all of his effects. He's not going to have that pop when he really wants to use it, right? Which is great. And I only have like straight gasoline in my hand. So he's going to draw 1 card. We'll see what it ends up being, but I take 200 damage every time I summon. So he popped a card already, right? He already had that interruption. Now he goes for Ash Blossom. Interesting. So I'm going to go for machine duplication here again. Maybe it's objectively right to play 3 Cyber Dragon, but it's just so bricky, right? And if I was playing the way the deck the way I used to, like I would have had this would have been just a brick. Like it just would have been a massive brick. I would have had 2 Cyber Dragons in my hand, which is pretty bad. Keep going here. So yeah, I did have unauthorized reactivation, and I thought Union Carrier was banned, but apparently it's not, which is great. I mean, I love this card. It's so good in the deck. Obviously, it's designed for this deck. It's what it's supposed to be used for, but it got banned because of all the shenanigans. So from the deck, I can go ahead and equip a Sea Crush Wyvern, and I can search here with my Galaxy Soldier, and I actually am going to send this to the graveyard, so I don't have to use Galaxy Soldier's effect. This is going to be discard fodder for ABC Dragon Buster, but yeah, look at this. My opponent has Lancia. Who plays Lancia in Master Duel? That's just going to make you lose like 90% of the times, right? Like, it's kind of crazy. But yes, he did have Lancia, but no problem. And that's why I love this deck. It's so weird, and it does so many different things. And the Predaplant Verde Anaconda isn't banned either. This is so stupid. Um, and not stupid as in like it's just cool that I get to use all these cards. I just remember playing this when none of this stuff was banned. There was a time I think Union Carrier was banned before Predaplant Verde Anaconda, but Union Carrier is much less important to Predaplant. Like this card's so good in Cyber Dragons, obviously. I'm gonna try to take his monster, but he's gonna use the trap. No big deal. He's gonna try to bring this back, so now he's like forced to like have a body and an extender next turn. Because I do know that he has Sunny in the graveyard, which is an interruption. And he's going to use it on Infinity as soon as his play starts. But, I still have Predaplant Verde Anaconda, but you can send Fusion Destiny. Now, the only unfortunate part about this deck is there's just so many bricks, but when you don't draw the 4 bricks in the deck, which, it's like not your entire deck, obviously. And it's not like they're game-ending bricks. They're not garnets in the sense that you lose if you have them in your hand. It's obviously just 1 less card that's usable. I didn't mean to do that, by the way. I used Phoenix Destroyer before I went to the battle phase, but it's only going to be a small difference. And, Phoenix Enforcer comes back. This card is crazy. Like, I just remember when Predaplant and Anaconda was out. Just any 2 monsters equal this kind of disruption is just so fantastic. But he's going to use the Trouble Sunny. Of course, I'm going to negate that because he's going to send Infinity anyways. And then I have a pop, but I get rid of the monsters on his board, so all I have to do is like wait for him to summon a monster. It's going to bring a body out, and then I just have to pop the other body. And he actually brings out this Frost, which is kind of weird, right? Why would you not bring out 1 from the deck? Because now, I'm assuming that's his only extender, right? He popped the card, he can't go into a Link 2, and that's just kind of the end of it. But yeah, this deck was always cool because it had such powerful like going second boards, right? Cyber Dragon is just a good card. I'm going to go through the other ones here. Again, it's a lot of like bricking, but well, first of all, like when I play this deck, I didn't lose. I surrendered once because my opponent normal summoned Rabina, and I would rather jump into a pool of acid than just play against Flu Underease right now. Okay, so machine duplication in the hand, which is great, right? And I also have Max C, so I'm not gonna have the best end board, but I'm gonna have 2 forms of interruption plus Max C, and I get a little bit creative here on this turn. This is kind of cool, the way that this ends up playing out, because I can kind of just stop here, right? I can go into Nova, bring back Cyber Dragon, go into Infinity, and then go into Predaplant Verting Anaconda, dumping Fusion Destiny, but I want to try to get some of the pieces in rotation. Cyber Repair Plant searches any light machine monster, which is a good thing. So I can do a little bit more, give myself a little bit more follow-up, which is really important. So here comes Cyber Repair Plant. I can grab Galaxy Soldier to my hand, and then I can pitch that, search, pitching the Orbital. Again, just kind of one of those bricky cards, and it's like 2 bricks in the hand. So this is like a really bad hand, right? Normally 1 brick sucks, but seeing 2 is just the worst. But I guess that kind of shows the power of Max C at the end of the day. But yeah, pretty cool. I was able to extend just a little bit further. That way I can go into Driver. Driver can get me something, Again, the end board's going to be the same, but plus Union Carrier. But now I just kind of like advanced my game state far enough to where, I'm playing in like silver and gold. I don't play Master Duel all that often. And, this just gives me more options. I'm way farther ahead now, And then now I can finally use Fusion Destiny. Basically getting all these bricks out of my deck once and for all. The 2 Fusion Destiny names. Union Driver is obviously a brick you don't want to draw off the top. And the pieces you want to have in your hand versus drawing them off the top. So it kind of worked out really well. So, a pop. Yeah, because Celestial's banned in Master Duel, which is funny. So you have to use kind of other options. But this is actually a pretty decent one. He's going to try to use this Predaplant card. And I know there's a Predaplant monster. I was burned by this before that can like tribute a monster to special summon itself with a Predaplant counter. So I kind of just like had to stop that. I forget what I was saying now. Oh, yes. So this draw hand, it's good because it's a free body for link summoning. This is like a link climbing deck, like in kind of its most traditional form. But also when it's summoned, it forces, or you can choose, not forces, each player to draw a card. So that works with ABC Dragon Buster in case your hand's really low. You don't usually want to give your opponent a draw, but if it's in the case of giving yourself a banish with ABC Dragon Buster, it's obviously very worth it. He goes into a Predaplant Verting Anaconda of his own. Obviously, I'm just going to blow that up, and then Phoenix Enforcer goes off. I had Max C in my hand too, which is obviously very cool. And it's an Ash Blossom, which is great. You kind of just have to have those answers for, you have to run Called By and Ash at 3 for Max C. Yeah, it plays Wabaku. And, I'm playing it like silver and stuff, and it is what it is. I just think some of these duels I'm going to show you guys are pretty interesting, and it's just fun to play the deck again, just casually. Like, if you want to, like, go up to, like, the Platinum category, like, really quickly, this is, like, probably, like, one of the most efficient decks. Because if you're going second, it's, like, decent at breaking boards, but you get Overload Fusion, which pops a bunch of back row and ends your turn, right? You're going to have this deck is like a 2-turn deck. Like, either your opponent's going to kill you or you're going to win because you're just going to blow them out. And these are like kind of all duels in a row. So it's, again, just kind of unfortunate. Again, I know there's 4 bricks in the deck, but it kind of sucks to see it every single time. Except for that first one. That was good. Yeah, these cards really do work so well together. It is such a fun deck. And I can bring this out. Probably go into a Union Carrier. Card just gives you so many options. It's so fantastic. Just errata this card to say equip a machine monster. There you go. It comes off the ban list immediately. So stupid. It's not even any relevant targets for this. I'm sure there would be. It's like infinite possibilities, but I just wish it would say equipped machine monster so this deck could be exactly the same. Alright, I can go ahead and send a couple pieces there, and this is like the bread and butter YouTube combo you'll find from a couple years ago or a year ago, whenever it was. I can just probably I usually always bring something back with Nova, right? Because you already have 2 other negates on this thing, and you might as well just leave yourself a body, potentially for link climbing. Like, it can't hurt you, right? Just to have this on the board. And there goes Infinity, and then, yep, I should have all 3 pieces in the graveyard. So ABC Dragon Buster gets to come out. It coming back at 2 is huge, of course. Doesn't need to be overstated there. Like, being able to just go back into it twice, super crazy. And that was obviously the big problem. Just look at this, man. This is why it's kind of hard to play Master Duel, because it takes you like like an hour to like 2 hours just to play something half decent, you know? Like, that's just kind of a bummer. But I did have 3 forms of interruption here. And against, climbing Master Duel, it's like way more than enough. And the thing is like, this deck is also pretty well suited for Master Duel because it's so generic, Like ABC Dragon Buster banishes as a card, Infinities as, an Omni negate, and all that kind of stuff, which definitely helps. I top deck Overload Fusion. Who knows what I even do with this? Probably go into what? Access Code Talker. Sure. This is a pretty decent target to go into with IP Masquerade too. When you set off all of your chains and stuff like that. When you bring back all the pieces and if you have IP on the board, just get all those negates there. All right, you use the ABC Dragon Buster, banishes itself, bring those back, chain IP at the same time. So you get a format Appaloosa, or, like I just said, you can access Code Talker. A non-destructible access Code Talker is very hard to get over, right? It's a very big body. Okay, we'll just keep chugging along here. Some of these are so funny. Like, some of these I saw, I'm like, oh, this is just the worst opening hand ever. And then my opponent just plays the worst deck imaginable, or just gives me like one little chance, which is all this deck really needs. There's again, look at this hand. Again, like, I wasn't really cherry picking these replays. They kind of just like came along. Unbelievable. I did draw. In this case, I drew all 3 of my bricks are just lined up very nice and neatly in my hand. This duel is actually crazy. Playing against Labyrinth with the worst possible hand, right? He does go for Welcome Labyrinth. Luckily, I have the Ash Blossom there, so that card is usable. Thank goodness. But yes, I am going to go for Terraforming here. Searching Union Hanger. It's obviously a very good thing. And I thought I would give myself a chance, but again, I know he has 3 back rows, so it's like, ugh, what could it possibly really be? Plays Mystical Space Typhoon. All right, why not? But yeah, I don't get the search, so I'm still stuck in the same place, right? I'm just staring at all these awful bricks in my hand. But activates Welcome Labyrinth, which made me really nervous. I'm figuring, well, if he's going to use this card, either he has the Battle Trap or another copy of Welcome Labyrinth. I guess we'll find out, but I'm going to try to just get things going. Like, I need to start getting some of these cards out of my deck, I can't just keep top decking these. I'm going to hold on to Unauthorized Reactivation in case he tries to pop it with Labyrinth. That way I can chain it, so it's kind of a waste. Top decks one of these monsters, the Stove. That's the thing I never liked about this deck, and I think is really the biggest problem. Their main deck monsters require you to discard a card. I know there's like some case like Backjack, but if you don't draw Backjack, you're literally just losing a card. So his Welcome Labyrinth is going to go off, and this is where he just starts going into Click Turbo, which is crazy. So he's going to bring something out. Barrage comes out, which I think copies the effect. So he's also going to bring back an Ariana. He's going to pop the back row, which is the B Buster Drake, which I guess makes sense because it's a body. And now he's also going to pop a card. If you control a fiend, target a card, destroy it. Again, he's just like, all right, I'm assuming he had, well, I don't know. At the same time, it's like, he's assuming I have nothing in my hand, but I like wasn't doing anything with the cards in my hand. So maybe he kind of picked up on that, but yikes, man. That I think I activated Max C in the middle of all of this. Like, there's so much that happened in this duel. No, I didn't. I think I must have just top decked the Cyber Dragon Core, but he's going to get all these effects. He's going to make me discard one card. But yeah, this deck just finds a way. So unfortunately, Phoenix Enforcer's off the table now, but that's fine. I will fight through. And then, yeah, again, just Click Turbo. What, 4 forms of interruption, and he wasted it on everything that he saw in my hand first? At that point, you just got to, like, grow up. Cyber Repair Plant's so versatile, obviously. And I already know what this card is. During all that madness, he had, like, set this card. But, yeah, I don't think I've used Galaxy Soldier. I only have 1 copy left. Oh, no, it's not a once per turn. Only the search is once per turn. Never mind. Which is great. Which is super fantastic. Oh, and Galaxy Soldier was before. So now I can go into Nova, which is great, and I also discarded all those pieces in the middle of doing all of this, which is really, truly incredible. So just like, if this guy just had like an ounce of patience in him, like he would have easily have won this duel. Pop, 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 all these cards that do nothing. And I was just able to unlock my hand through one card. So that was really, like, this was like so awesome. And this is like one of those replays that make you really love the deck, you know. So I'm gonna, you know, bust his board, and I get to banish one of his traps. I know one of them's the, I already know which one's the battle trap, so I can easily play around it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and banish that welcome labyrinth that he had ended up setting. And then I just kind of have this body on the board. Dasher can bring itself back. Now, I don't know if I should have used it in this scenario because I can't use the effect of Dragon Buster. Maybe I should have definitely probably 100% done that. He's going to bring this card out but not use the effect, right? He's just going to walk into the negate. I know that's the battle trap, and then I'm good at this point. That's another thing. Like, one of the main cards is the battle trap. Just, how is this not proof enough, you know? And I'm going to set myself up for the old classic ABC Dragon Buster to go into Appaloosa combo. The format non-card destruction Appaloosa. I don't have that card in my hand to use. And that's what I was talking about with Dasher, if that was the scenario. I think all this card does is, like, you can activate a lab or a normal trap the turn it was set, so it doesn't actually, you know, do anything. I think there's obviously like some things I could have done, but, you know, just go to the battle phase. Let's get this over with. Really cool, man. I mean, easily the worst possible conceivable hand. And like, I ended up kind of like breaking out through one card. So that was like the entertaining part of that. And you know, that's obviously like very much the limitations of what this deck can do. And if you look at all these other ones, it's like hit 1 turn, 2 turns. So it is fast. I was able to climb through and get to gold like pretty quickly. I would say, relatively speaking, at least. Probably the only way to do it quicker is a normal summon Rabina. Then your opponent just scoops every time. A bit of a weird hand. Again, another brick, so I just get them magnetized to my hand. Either the 2 names or driver. But yeah, core is definitely enough to get it done, which is so cool. Because now I can just go into like Predaplant Verde Anaconda. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go into ABC Dragon Buster. I'm sure there was like a way if I really wanted to do it, but probably the smarter decision here is just to go into Galaxy Soldier, go into Predaplant Verde Anaconda. But it's good to have, like, I have most of the pieces already in the graveyard, which is a great thing. So setting myself up really well for follow-up, right? If I can go into Union Carrier, I can get the last piece from the deck. And for a casual deck, you know, it's about all you can ask for. And then Nova can bring back. This is so classic, right? Nova bring back to go into the 2 monster Predaplant Verde Anaconda. So fun. All right, there we go. Go into infinity. 3 forms of interruption. I do have the Ash in my hand, which is always pretty cool. Just to have that little extra piece, you know, especially when you play something like Branded. It's like it's like the easiest thing to counter if they don't open specifically, like Super Poly, you know, or like Dark Ruler, obviously. And I think that's what this is. How to beat a Branded player. Activate Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. And then I can just bring that back, you know, it just comes up being leak material. That's fine. Branded opening, you can discard a card. I don't even think it's Tragedy. I think he's playing Dark Worlds or some garbage like that. He's going to try to search, you know. He actually ends up searching the field spell, which is pretty funny. He's going to use this thing to draw 2 cards, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just negate that. I have the answer. Because if he didn't search out, if he searched out the field spell, that means he has, you know, the Fallen of Albaz Fusion. And there it is, Albaz, or Branded Fusion. And obviously I just have to Ash Blossom that. And then I already still have the pop here. Not that he can really do anything with it at this point. If he actually tries to activate the field spell, well, I'll just pop it, right? Field spells and continuous spells have to activate on the field for their effects to resolve. And that's definitely going to be his turn. He also is just very telling, right? The last card in his hand is like a useless monster. So that was pretty cool. What else do we have here? Just a few more, just kind of just bonus stuff, and especially these ones at the bottom, you know. Who knows what your opponent's playing? Just like opens up 5 packs, makes a deck out of it. I feel bad for those people. You know, it's like you'll learn eventually, and this, I guess, that's just part of entering Yu-Gi-Oh. You just kind of have to get that harsh reality. This hand would be cool if I had core in my hand, because then I could like dump the other pieces. Like Overload Fusion's kind of like an extender in the deck. But in this case, this is just kind of... Oh, I think this is kind of full combo, right? I should be able to go into everything. So I'm going to add... Yeah, this is as good as it gets. Quite literally, this is like the perfect opening hand. To see Max C like that, like Overload Fusion I'm not going to be able to use, but like, you know, who cares? So I'm going to be able to search both pieces, which is so cool. So Infinity, an ABC Dragon Buster, and Phoenix Enforcer. That's what it's all about. Plus Max C in hand. Yeah, who made this hand? You know, make my hand like this every time. Poor guy. I don't even know what he ends up playing. I think it's also branded. It must be. I'm assuming it probably has like a structure deck on this. That's why so many people play it in the lower tiers, which makes sense, right? If you get Mirror J, that's obviously pretty good in like a casual setting. I actually don't need to bring anything back. Or oh no, I didn't have anything, right? I didn't see any ABC or Cyber Dragon names at all. There comes Buster. So fun. And then I, you know, can send it full powered, man. It's been so long since I've been able to play this. Still have the cards, you know. All right, and there we go. I can banish something, I can pop something, I can negate something, and then I can just bring this back. Again, probably shouldn't have, right, because of ABC Dragon Buster. Oh, that's right. He's playing some sort of dumb, like, FTK. Like, what are you even playing this for, you know what I mean? Especially, I think Mystic Might is banned on Master Duel. That's just dumb. I just wanted to show that one because it was so cool to see like the full classic combo. You know, if you see if you have Union Hanger in your hand plus access to Galaxy Soldier, yeesh, it's over. It's so over. All right, let's take a look at this one. I think I brick really hard in these last 3, so. The bricks don't last forever. If your opponent doesn't end you, like, you will jump on it super quick. I'm sure when everyone plays me, they probably think I'm just like a bot too. Because I'm playing with the default skin from the very beginning of the game. Oh, and here's Labyrinth again. This deck must be so bad. Set 2, like, what are you playing Labyrinth or what? And look at that, all 3 names in my hand. How bizarre. I only run 1 of C and A, and I run 2 B, and I just open it. It's kind of funny. So I just like hard get my way to infinity. Why not? Why not? And to see a brick in your hand always sucks. But like Maxi, I just, that's the reason. That's really the only reason I don't play this Master Duel more. It's like Maxi sucks so bad. I'd be interested because like the Master Duel ban list is like much more loose than the TCG, right? It has nothing to do with like financial stuff for them, so they can kind of use whatever ban list they want. You know, everybody knows that the TCG ban list has a lot to do with like the financial side of Yu-Gi-Oh, which makes sense. So you would think like this is actually a pretty cool format, you know, to play this, but I don't know. It's just like a normal summon something. Like when I win using Maxi, it just, I don't know. It's just such a bummer. It doesn't feel like a real win. Oh, like when I get Maxied, I pass my opponent normal summons like a prank kid. And it's like, ugh, like this is just gross. This is so nasty. He's going to try to use Layer of Darkness, and I'm just going to go ahead and negate that, obviously. Again, just these back rows that are just getting punished, you know. These purple cards are slow. And I had like a really weird hand. I guess I wouldn't necessarily call it bad, but definitely not great. Like you kind of saw some of my other end boards. And I just gonna bring 3 of these back. I have a negate for the other one, so like the one trap I don't get to has to be like so good. Oh, it's Dimensional Barrier. I don't think I even realized in the time that what he had sent. I think that's Welcome Labyrinth, but yeah, it's not gonna do anything. And a top deck of B Buster Drake. It's like, how bad of a luck can I get? Yeah, you get to bring this back, which is always cool. And just kind of one of those free ones, like you want to go into Unicorn, you want to go into Access Code Talker, all that kind of stuff. A Assault Core can bring something back, just so I can like get another body right off the normal summon, which definitely helps. So, or discard fodder for Nightmare Unicorn. It's kind of my catch-all. This card, it's like worst case scenario. This card's gonna help me out. So I get to shuffle that back, and then I can go into, I think, Access Code Talker. Yep, and ABC Dragon Buster is back, baby. Isn't that awesome? Welcome, Labyrinth. No welcome. You're not welcome. Sorry to say that. I think this one's the Battle Trap. Pretty sure. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. I could scoop this up and then, you know, banish 3 cards, go into ABC Dragon Buster. Access Code still out of pop for that last back row. And I'll just, I think I'm on the last one. If not, it doesn't matter. Hopefully you guys enjoy. This is one of my, this deck has one of like the biggest following like throughout my channel's history. So it's always nice when I get to update it every once in a while and play it again. I just get those bricks in my hand, man. They're just glued to it. I open it like 80% of the time, but no big deal. So he Ash Blossoms that. Okay. Anyways, normal summon A Assault Core. That's just wait. Like, even if I had core or like all the so many different ways to get there, it's like, wow, man, you really shotgun that Ash. And I guess that's part of playing in the lower tiers, you know. I guess normally it's not bad, but you get punished so hard by like literally anything. So this is cool interaction, right? I get to search one and then add one, because normally like, oh, I don't have anything to, you know, discard both cards off of Galaxy Soldier. No problem. Union Carry. This card's great. Photon Orbital can search me Galaxy Soldier, and you know, I'm off to the races now. That Ash did not do much. Plus, I have it in perm, and that's kind of the idea behind the deck, right? You're gonna set up. Ideally, you want to set up all 3 forms of your interruption, but that's like very like specific hands. It's very possible, but more than likely you're going to end with like 2 of the boss monsters, and then the idea is like maybe you have like 1 other form of interruption, right? Imperm or Ash or whatever the case may be. Maxi is a good choice, of course. Bring those out. Plenty of follow-up too. Union Carrier, very, very good. So we'll see what my opponent has, and it's always good when they waste a hand trap, because you're only dealing with 5 cards, and 3 interactions for 5 cards is good. Yeah. Especially if it's something just as silly as like Brandon, which is just not so easily. It's not a good going second deck. That's always been its weakness for sure. Again, if it doesn't open up Super Poly, it's not winning. And I think Super Poly is hit on the Master Duel list somehow. He's going to attempt a fusion summon, which keys into me that at least one of the cards in his hand is useless. Okay, it's just some monster that he wanted to use to fuse with. And Access Code is coming out, plus another ABC Dragon Buster. Again, that big difference coming off the ban list, which is fantastic. Imperm, sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. That's just unfortunate for you. I think he's got a scoop at this point. I don't know what that is. He's going to set 1 card. I don't even know what it could be, but it doesn't even matter. I have the Omni Negate for it. Okay, I can go ahead and just probably go into Predaplant Verde Anaconda, or I can go into Overload Fusion, which is always pretty neat. A Assault Core can add back. I think I had both A's in the graveyard, so it doesn't matter. Just get to use that as some sort of fodder. I think I can go into IP Masquerena. This is all for naught, right? I'm just going to be able to banish this, and I think... I don't know if I have the names in graveyard. Yeah, I still haven't touched a Cyber Dragon monster, so... I do have to go into Fusion Destiny. Finally getting that brick out of my hand feels good. And my opponent scoops, of course. Of course they scoop. What are they going to do? So, yeah. That is an updated look at ABC Cyber Dragon. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. And I'll see you guys next time.